kinda slow. Grip held tight, the storm starts to grow. We sharpen the truth, ready to explode. Can't call out rhinos if you're a rhino. Speak with a mic that bleeds, not a path to tone. Oh, cash just saints blink while the crowd loses sane. Oh, I spit raw pages, every line a broken homo. Can't be bought, can't be sold. Gave my soul to truth, not gold. We raise the flags while the fate keeps cold.
What up, dude?
What's going on, buddy?
So, guys, welcome to the Can't Be Bought podcast. And still on the road. Looks like I will be for a while. But figure I'd take the equipment with me now. Brother, we got a lot going on. So,
Well, we have a lot going on and not a lot going on at the same time.
Right. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. We'll treat this like an interview. I want to get your reaction to some of the stuff that has happened today. So the United States took a Chinese vessel in the Straits of Hormuz. There were shots fired both ways. The United States is trying to blockade it. And we took a Chinese vessel. Now, I don't know how China is going to react to this. Beijing seems to be pretty mad. But in the geopolitical world, some might say that this is a kind of a stab in the back of Xi Jinping, who signed a deal with Trump to protect his vessels in the Straits of Hormuz, and now we're capturing them. I don't know what to make out of any of this anymore.
Well, if you look at like what's been,
is your mic working?
Is it not working?
No, you're in the room right now. It's just like you're
all right, hang on.
Your computer microphone or something.
Okay, is that better? That's
much better.
Okay, my bad. If you look at the effects of what's happened since the war started, it has shut off a lot of these countries' supply lines for oil. Like China gets a substantial amount of oil through the Strait of Hormuz. So does Russia. So does Australia and a bunch of other places. But our exports are skyrocketing. So it seems like that was part of the plan, was to kind of squeeze out China. And I don't really think that Trump cares very much. If you remember, like, I think it was like back in 2020, maybe 2021, during the whole COVID thing, there was a point where China was like embarrassing our representatives that would go over there. They'd go over there to negotiate, and they would have to take the COVID swabs, but it was inserted, anally. And it wasn't. It was. They
saying what? You just caught me completely by surprise.
Back
they were literally swabbing sphincters.
Yes, yeah, and they were doing it because they could.
Just so I know.
I don't recall off the top of my head, but it was our representatives that would go over there.
I'm gonna have to look this up on who had their sphincter tickled just to go to China.
Yeah, and it was a COVID test, and back then they would also say that like we weren't negotiating from a place of power, and I think that Trump has basically just been trying to reverse that power. Now, I don't really agree with the whole war in Iran, just because. Obviously there's going to be unforeseen consequences coming down the pipeline from this, but it has hurt a lot of our adversaries more so than it's hurt us, because we kind of now control that area and what goes through. So, and as far as like a deal with a communist, I mean, come on, is that really like, should we honor that deal? Especially if they, I don't really know. It's tough to say.
I mean, but don't get me wrong, right? If everybody's so up in arms about Hitler and how bad Hitler was, Xi Jinping is really no better. He has over, so it's been said, a million Uyghur Muslims in literal concentration camps. Epoch Times has done stories where they literally are rumored to be selling the organs of inmates, and they have airports and hospitals attached to their prisons for doing just that. So it's not like I think that China's a good guy, but on the world stage, if we continue to say that we're going to do something and then we don't do it, And at the same time, we're basically telling NATO to kiss off. And it just seems like we're getting no friends out of this. And every time we make an agreement, even with Iran, we don't seem to keep it. All I'm getting at here is it's not whether it's a good or bad thing. It's like, okay, what is the end game? And Trump said it today. The end game is the annihilation of the Iranian regime. So I don't even get where he's coming from, because he keeps saying that we're trying to make a deal to get out. First,
And they're agreeing.
And that they're trying to work a deal. And then you say that you're not trying to work a deal, that you just want them dead. Everybody must die. And that's the only thing I'll accept. So, and then there's this, and this is just on the heels of that. I'm just going to read this because this is crazy. So it says, when the dirty cop James Comey, the failed head of the FBI, went after me and was using FISA Title I, the domestic collection of FISA 702 foreign collection, which needs to be extended today, while parts of FISA were illegally and unfortunately used against me in the Democrats' disgraceful witch hunt attack in the Russia hoax, and perhaps it would be used against me in the future. I am willing to risk the giving up of my rights and privileges as a citizen for our great military and country. Are you kidding me? I don't even know where to start with that, but go ahead. I'd give me your 2 cents, dude, because that's crazy.
When he says that he's willing to give up his rights as a citizen, he means he's giving up all of our rights.
Yeah, it's not just him; it's us.
No, it's not him like at all. And I mean, one of the main things that we, as MAGA, wanted him to do when he got in office was dismantle the institutions that allowed this to happen.
Yeah.
And instead of that happening, he's just emboldened every single one of them. And so he didn't really dismantle the deep state at all. He's just put some people in there like, Kash Patel, and he's like, going to put a good face on the FBI for now. But none of the institutions have changed in any way, shape, or form. So
not a little bit.
And they're only going to get better and better the next, PSYOP they do, or the next time they go after somebody. They're going to be more careful. They're going to learn from their mistakes and figure out how to get around it. So without dismantling any of the institutions, then, Trump did nothing to stop the next spy, like the next time the deep state wants to spy on somebody from happening. He didn't do anything to stop that.
No, in fact, he said, I'm going to continue it, and I think that it's worth the risk. Even knowing that they misused your... And here's the problem with it, is that people that don't know what Section 702 actually is, it is a law that gives our FBI the ability to spy on people who come into our country from adversarial countries. The problem is that the FBI used this hundreds of thousands of times against regular United States citizens. And then when questioned on it in court, they said, oops, it was a mistake. You made 250,000 mistakes. That's come on. That was the number. It was over 250,000. And for a president, any president, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm just piling on Trump. I'm talking about politicians in general. And this should be the attitude of every American. And it was stated, and I forget who said it, and I should know who said it, but those who give up their liberty for security deserve neither. And that's kind of where we have to be at this point, because Americans cannot get behind a politician and just act like we play for that team. The team that we need to play for is Team Constitution, Team Freedom, and Team America. And there's no one who's the face of that. That's just, that's our Constitution. That's what's afforded to us. And when we get so tied up into, I support Trump no matter what he does. Well, he eats turds. Have you tasted turds? They're great. I don't understand why people still think that they can't disagree with this man and still be seen as someone who says, okay, here's the good thing he did. Here's the bad thing he did. Like, we've completely lost the ability. I used to think people were wrong when they called us a cult, Maurice. I used to think we're not the cult. You're the cult. And now I find out they're all in a cult.
Yeah. Yeah. You're exactly right. It was Ben Franklin.
Thank you.
He said, those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety.
Yeah.
So that's
that's what we're being told right now.
Yeah,
But
we're literally being told that by the president of the United
But the
States.
underlying part of that's scary is that he's not saying that he's willing to continue FISA 702 in its current form, because the way that statement is written is that he's allowing it to be used against United States citizens. Now, here's something where he makes it sound like, are they going to modify the law to extend to United States citizens? Because that's the way that reads.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. It sure seems like there's the soft rollout of digital ID has been happening, and it seems like it's inevitable at this point. Like, it's just going. Like, I thought Trump was going to be the one that would kind of put a stop to a lot of this, but no, it's all coming in the same. You know, Palantir is integrated into our government. It's integrated into our police system now. So, you know, when you get pulled over by a cop, they can literally look up the flock camera data on you and your social media posts and all of this stuff. So it's like, I mean, how is that going to be any different than a social credit score? Because, like, up here in Washington State, you get communist cops, like literal communists, Antifa types, activist cops, and they will specifically target people like me. And if their little license plate reader catches me, and then they can pull up all my information, they could just fucking ruin my day. You know.
Well, I mean, that's just it. When that information just, you know, when the thing scans your license plate the way we scan a QR code, and then they just say, hey, just add this variable to what we look for when we pull people over. I want to see his social media as well. I want to see all these things. I remember back in the AOL 3.0 days when they used to send you the disc in the mail and you had dial-up modems. I remember there was like kind of an audio a joke that was going around where the guy tries to order a pizza. And when he tries to order the pizza, the guy answers the phone and says, hi, is this such and such? And you live at such and such address. And then at that time, that was cool because no one could do that. So he's like, you know, it's crazy. You knew my name and my address. Then he goes, yeah, we can only give you this pizza with these toppings because it says here you have high blood pressure and you have this, that, and the other thing. And now that's not so hard to actually see a future where that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy to think about, because I mean, in all reality, that would, like, if they had all that information, then there would be some kind of liability on the company to not, you know, continue.
Right. Should the United States continue to incur higher healthcare costs because people are buying things and eating things they shouldn't? So what we're going to do is we're going to help out the whole nation. And for all of you people out there, all you fatties that just won't stop with the grease and the salt, we're going to help you.
Whoa. Salt is good for you. Okay. That's a myth. Salt and fat are good for you. Okay.
Well, I like salty
sugar,
fat too.
It is high fructose corn syrup, and it is all of the fake preservatives that ruin people's bodies.
You're ruining my point.
I'm sorry, but you mentioned salt, and it's been ingrained in my brain that salt is bad for you, and it's not. Salt is not bad for you.
I don't know if it's iodized salt that may be the bad thing. I'm not certain, but the point being is that they will try to package this and sell it like, well, we're not going to let this guy buy, 5 pints of ice cream. And because your healthcare costs are going to go up because this guy's over here, buying cigarettes and cigars and massive amounts of liquor and things like that. And so this will help us all if we could just take his freedoms away.
Or your healthcare costs will go up because you buy that stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll all be integrated.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of where we're steering things to. This is what we're doing. I mean, imagine if they can tell you, well, we're going to give you a ticket because you didn't wear a seatbelt. I mean, I, who am responsible for me, don't want to put this strap over my chest in my car that I drive, that you get to tell me that for my own good, you're going to charge me $200.
Have have you seen that commercial? It was like back in the late 80s, maybe early 90s. And it was this small town, and this news station was doing a report on on drunk driving, and that you're not allowed to have, they're going to implement rules for drunk driving. And half the people in there were like, we're talking about, we're going to be a communist nation soon after this. And like back then I could see how people would think that's funny, but all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. Okay, I got to look this up now because
Oh yeah, I mean there were people. I remember, the 80s, early on in the 80s, and people think I can drink better. I mean, I can drive better when I'm drinking. I don't know what they're talking about. I remember a friend of mine's dad had a damn keg in the center console of his van with a beer meister and a shotgun rack in the back. So, true stuff.
Okay, this is the. Ah, dang it! That's a short. Son of a bitch. Let me see if I can look it up on X. Because YouTube sucks.
It does anymore, doesn't it? Whoop! You disappeared. There you go.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me. Here I'm gonna change some things around here because we need to play some of our sponsors, and I brought up the wrong production room, and I don't know where in the hell those commercials were. So I'm not trying to be rude. As in fact, guys, I just literally got off the phone with Eli from Povey. I mean, these guys are going to be amazing. So we've been talking to them. They sponsored us when we went to CPAC early on, and they are going to have an actual formidable platform where streaming is going to be free speech. Debates are going to be moderated and voted on. They got some really, really cool stuff. So definitely go check out Povey, app.povey. It's going to be great. And they'll be launching this within the next 2 weeks. So you can actually go now before somebody grabs your screen name. You know that one screen name you like and that dumbass always goes and grabs it before you do? Well, go get yours now before someone takes it, and get signed up now. That way you are an early adapter on this platform because they are going to be quite large. And this is going to be coming out very, very soon. So go get yours now. Get in line because it's going to be very cool. And you want to be one of the ones to get in early.
Are you ready?
Okay.
To restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
It's kind of getting common is when a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
They're making laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. And pretty soon we're going to be communist country.
Well, damn it, they're not wrong.
I know,
in some
that's
ways.
the crazy part.
They're not wrong. But yeah, I mean, listen, if I don't agree with the seatbelt law at all, never have, never will. In fact, I've literally rigged my car so my car doesn't ding when I don't wear a seatbelt. I put in a code to turn that shit off.
I figured out how to do that. Ever since you told me that, that was the first thing I did when I got back from Texas, is in my wife's car, because she has 2008, and the fucking thing beeps at me every time I drive, and it's been driving me crazy. So I asked Grok, and I was able to do whatever you're supposed to do. Turn it off.
For our listeners, I'm getting ready to tell you a really cool secret. So if you have a Chrysler, Ford, whatever, this works. So you hit the button without your foot on the brake and turn it and hit your power button on your car. And this is only for cars that don't typically use keys. If you use a key, you just turn it a quarter of the way. When you do that, you unplug and plug your seatbelt in 3 times. I kid you not. And on the 3rd time after you plug it in, you leave it in, and then you start the car. And when you start the car, you unplug your seatbelt, and your seatbelt dinger will never come on ever again. This is real stuff. It actually
so nice. I tried to do it in my work truck, and it didn't work.
No, you just probably need to look the one up for that particular.
I did, and I tried it, and it didn't work. And I think it's because it's integrated into a different system because they have like GPS tracking and all this crap on there. I will switch jobs once they put cameras in the trucks. Like that's when I told them. Like, because some tire companies already have that. They already have cameras facing at the driver the entire time.
Oh, at the driver, not dash cams?
And out. It's both.
See, I wouldn't mind the out one. It's the one watching me constantly all day that I'd have a problem with.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsor.
Since 2017, 150,000 farms have shut down. Working farmland has been reduced by 21 million acres. The system has been crippling the remaining farmers, forcing some to adopt nefarious farming techniques, like pumping hormones and other performance-enhancing drugs into their cows so they can survive in crammed feedlots. Or the farmers are forced to jump ship and sell to land-hoarding, profit-chasing agricultural oligarchies, who use their billions of dollars to crush the competition and increase your family's dependence on their manufactured food. What could possibly go wrong? The family farm will soon be a thing of the past, unless you do something. You can. That's why there's From the Farm, an industry-disrupting platform that connects consumers directly with local farmers, which means you can buy fresh, non-factory farm food, and you'll know exactly where your food came from and how it was raised. For the first time in nearly 100 years, independent farms will have a way to not only survive, but thrive. From the Farm was founded by A.J. Richards, an active homesteader, and Brooke Ents, a CrossFit Games athlete and an Amazonian warrior in the movies Wonder Woman and Justice League. She clearly has a passion for healthy food and a healthy lifestyle. And since both AJ and Brooke come from generations of ranchers and farmers, they know what they're talking about. We can't do this alone. We need the strength of the American people behind us. Help us build a new food system that combines the wisdom of the past with the technology of the future. Investing in From the Farm isn't just a financial decision. It's an investment into our future, our small family farms, and our food sovereignty. Invest today.
So guys, go ahead. Go ahead. You do it.
You do it. No. I don't want to do it.
So guys, go check out AJ over there. AJ's last year had this vision of connecting you with your local rancher and farmer to get your produce, get your meat directly from the farm. And what he's done is he's created a database that connects you to whoever is the closest in your area and gives you the ability to buy direct from the farmer. This also helps out our ranchers and gets you actual food that you actually know what it is. Like, it's actually beef. It's not glued together and shaped like a sirloin. Like that, it's actual beef. So go check those guys out and help out our local farmers in the process. So yeah, no, it's crazy that people are literally having to, like the old crazy redneck trailer park, the guy you just played, those guys. I'm not blanket statement on trailer parks. I've lived.
Hey, that's me, man.
Full disclosure, I lived in a trailer park once.
I kind of live in a trailer park. It's just we're spread out by a couple of acres. So
no, my wife asked me. She says, "Why don't you put like pictures of me online with you and stuff the way Maurice does?" I'm like, for your protection. Maurice lives in the middle of freaking nowhere, right? We don't. You don't want to be like next to me in pictures and things like that on the internet with the things that I say.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It's nice living out here, and plus all the extra security that I've added over the last couple of years with the various death threats and doxings and shit that I've gone through. But yeah, it is what it is. Did you hear the important news over the weekend? There was something incredible that happened. And I must bring it up.
Go for it.
Have you followed Ben Stiller at all on X?
No. But before we get into it, I just want to say, what's his name? Sanditel, they're famous, whatever. I'm going to address your comment after Maurice is done. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. You should address it first.
All right. So let's everybody put it up because there are some that are not on the YouTube link. And guys, if you're watching on YouTube, the only way Maurice and I are going to get out of this bubble that we've been in on YouTube for forever is, guys, if you like what you hear, and you know that we're going to call it down the middle. We're not right, left. We are conservative. You'll never hear us tag ourselves with a political party. We're just going to tell you the truth and let you make up your own mind. So yes, follow us. If you haven't, click that follow, subscribe button wherever you're at. If you're on X, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Rumble, it would help us out tremendously if you would just click that follow button. Because we do respond to you guys when you say stuff like this, because we want to have a conversation. So it says you highly encourage you to look up Walt Disney's testimony before you hawk in 47 and the subsequent destruction of his reputation and infiltration of his business by communists. Now, let me explain what I was talking about with 702 and why it doesn't. What I was talking about has no bearing on what you're saying. In fact, I would absolutely agree with you that if someone comes in here from an adversarial country and let's say they contact me and Maurice, and now we are compromised as a result of this person from whatever nation. The law already provides the ability for the FBI to surveil us as a result of surveilling them. That's already happened. That's already part of the bill. What Trump was talking about is for those things not to even have to take place and you lose your civil liberties by fiat. So that's not something that I'm willing to do. I'm not willing to be safer by giving up the freedoms that the country is based on. I don't give a shit what the problem is or what the risks are. I would rather have my freedom to live in a bubble, because you can be safe in a prison cell, but you're in a damn prison cell. So no, I would not agree that we would give up our civil liberties to be safer.
Kilburn, we are on Rumble at rumble.com/the Patriots prayer.
Yes, absolutely.
Thaddeus, you can find Thaddeus on Grindr too.
Thaddeus went back to Thaddeus. What happened to Troll?
Yeah.
You got banned, didn't you? You got banned. Your handle got hit or something, dude. I already know you. I already look. He says, "LOL." I was right. I was right.
Oh, wow, that was fast, Kilburn. Holy cow. So check this out. Over the weekend, when I was minding my own business, I had some family over, and we were having a good old time, enjoying the nice weather. My son was running around grabbing dandelions, and we were popping them and blowing the seeds everywhere. It was a great time. We enjoyed the live stream out there, but I was occasionally checking Twitter, or X, and I had noticed that Ben Stiller was tweeting out like various posts, spelling out, I don't remember what he was spelling out, but he was spelling something out. And one of his posts was just the letter N.
Explain.
So he was spelling out like a word, but it was one letter per post. But this particular post, since it was just the letter N, was quickly picked up and hijacked. So
oh God! Oh God!
They did the N Tower, and there were many N Towers that were done, and this post popped off immediately. And I mean, mostly peaceful memes. Don Holiday, Cam Neill, Ronald Grump, and Daniel Cody. Well done. Good job, guys. Just
wow,
absolutely. Dude. Ben Stiller had no idea what was going on, but it was.
He left the post up though.
Oh,
is
no,
that like co-signing?
He deleted it.
Oh, did he?
Oh, he deleted it. Yeah, because he did not realize what kind of a shitstorm he just opened up. I don't think that he knew about the N Tower or anything like that, but it was hilarious to see. And they actually went on and they let's see. Oh no. They actually, I can't zoom in on this, unfortunately.
Here, but you can make it
can.
larger.
Oh, what? But they went out and they spelled the whole thing.
That's crazy.
So that was hilarious. That was a highlight of the weekend for me. Just because.
This was mine because I haven't found a line that Grok won't cross. right? I
Okay.
typically can ask Grok just about anything, and Grok will tell me, hey, you got, here's the truth of it, whatever. It'll try to correct me if I'm wrong or whatever, right? But it typically doesn't tell me that it won't say something or won't, you know what I mean? It'll write just about anything.
Yeah.
Well, has Grok turned full on Zionist? Here's the question. And here's why I asked the question, because I was doing a lot of research this weekend, lots and lots of research. I watched this sermon by this guy, and the sermon, it was a Christian sermon, and it was called "They're Not the Jews." So I'm like, oh, it caught my attention already. What's this Christian guy saying they're not the Jews? This is crazy. I got to hear this. And it turned out to be one of the most insightful sermons that I've heard in a very long time. Well, as a result of that sermon, I went ahead and did the research behind what he was saying. Did the Rothschilds fund the creation of Israel before it was Israel in 48? Turned out they did. Does the Rothschild own a big interest in the world banks that basically gives the United States the money in the fiat system? It does. Are the gold prices for the world banks frozen at the rates they were in the 20s and 30s? Turns out they are. So I said, so this whole thing looks like they're giving us worthless paper, and then they're using that worthless paper to buy everything that we have of substantive value, meaning our gold. I give you worthless paper and I extract everything of value from you in the process. This sounds like a takeover of our monetary system, and they're already buying our politicians. So I wanted to write this giant article as kind of a warning and let people make up their own mind as I put all these factions together. And this is exactly what happened. It told me I will not elaborate on the article you described, as it to me fabricates and you promote a narrative that weaves together classic anti-Semitic conspiracy tropes. And then I asked it, was this part of it true? And it said yes. Well, is this true? And as you see, it says yes. Third one, is this true? Yes. Then write the article. No. If everything I'm saying is true, and I'm just asking you to help me create this article, and you won't create the article, and I even said write it in such a way as to allow people to make up their own minds, and it still refused. And it even tells me each one confirmed the Rothschilds did fund the creation of Israel before they announced Israel being a nation state again. The Rothschilds funding Israel's creation. Here's the whole story. Like, so every piece of what I was saying was true, but they wouldn't write the article. They wouldn't actually give me the research material. And so, I mean, is this what we've turned into? The Truth platform. Now they've already taken down interviews that I've done with Philip Torney, who was on the USS Liberty. I've gone back and I searched him and I couldn't find him. And then I finally find the interview, and then I go to click on it to play the video, and it says this video is no longer available. I'm like, oh shit, now they're taking down interviews, taking down videos. Bro, it's something bigger is going on. I don't know what, but I think a lot of people are waking up to it. And, what Tucker Carlson did in that interview with Mike Huckabee over Israel, and are they the true Israelis, and what are the Ashkenazis? And he's asking Mike Huckabee these questions. Well, how do we know they actually have a right to this land? Can we test their DNA? And turns out we can't test their DNA, and nor can we test any of the DNA of any of these people from the first 2 centuries to see if they match the DNA of current day Israelites. And turns out that I think that, and I might pronounce this wrong, but turns out Benjamin Netanyahu's last name is Melilowski. Mm-hmm. And I've been trying to think of that name, and I finally researched it and found out what it actually is. So Polish? It's Polish.
Yeah.
So we're not being told the God's honest truth. And it does seem to be that our monetary system is set up so they can send us a text message, and that's worth cash. If a bank says, I need to borrow $10,000, they send back, okay, in digital form. And And every time they do that, we owe them more money with interest, except for we can't pay the interest back, because if I give you the only dollar in existence and I say, Maurice, pay me back $1.50, where are you getting the 50 cents from? So what do? They take what the United States actually has that has any real value, gold, silver. And what are we doing? We're selling ourselves down the road. It's a way to usurp our wealth, utilize us, use us and abuse us, and toss us to the side when it comes time. Ron Paul tried to warn us about this. So what does it say?
Girlfriend, why is my bra cup missing?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
It's about right.
I'm figuring out how to have fun with this because, you know, I can only control so much. And, like, I get stressed out about a bunch of things, but I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to have fun with it. And, you know, and hopefully, you know, figure out what's actually going on and what's true in the meantime. But, you know, that shit's difficult. Like, this whole Iran war thing is frustrating as all get out because I don't know what the end goal is. And Trump is, I mean, obviously not being clear.
Keeps moving the goalpost.
Yeah. And it feels like we're legitimately on the brink of World War III. And it doesn't feel great. But
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. And as sooner or later, we're at $39 trillion in debt officially as of a week and a half ago. And that debt doesn't slow down. I think we probably spent another 500,000 while Maurice and I were on this podcast. But that's the thing that I think is the most worrisome or troublesome to the United States security. It's not Iran. It's not Russia. It's not China. It's not any of these people that we can honestly beat without trying too hard. It's going to be the monetary system that's the biggest threat. It's the dollar, because guys, I'm telling you, if the dollar fails,
the globalists, it's the international bankers.
I mean, and if you think, and for all you guys out there chugging Bud Light or whatever your beer is, and you got your shotguns racked in your garage, and you think that you're going to take on the government if they ever came, stop. Just quit it. I don't give a damn if you got M4s stacked to the ceiling. It's not, you're not even the least bit a competition for what these guys have. We've crossed that line a long time ago.
Fucking Maduro couldn't even get to his safe room in his own country in his best military base.
No, but here's the thing, though. We do need to speak out. I was asked today by somebody who I was, appear to be blackpilling, and I'm not. Like, I'm not saying that I'm unwilling to participate in the political process, but what I'm also not willing to do is put on blinders and act like the things that I'm seeing and hearing aren't happening. So when I call them out, I'm just calling them out from a perspective of somebody who's just wanting to tell you the truth and not be on a specific team. And they said, what are you going to do? Just not vote? What if JD Vance, runs next time? I was like, well, then I'll vote for JD Vance. The sad part is that I'm forced to vote between the lesser of two evils, between people that are really bad and then those who compromise. And that shouldn't be our choice.
Currency that can be printed on a whim has no value. Currency must have scarcity to hold value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't forget, what did JFK do in the weeks prior to his assassination? He decided that he was going to take on the banks. So he decided to make what was called silver certificates as a way to get around the banks and actually have your money have actual value. And he was dead 2 weeks later. And when Operation Zipper was finally made public, the one thing that our CIA wanted to keep still under wraps, regardless of what they released, was the involvement of Israeli intelligence. And that's extremely sad that's who we protect at the end of the day.
How are we going back to the gold standard? I mean, I don't see that. That's impossible now.
Well, show me the gold.
Yeah. Remember the audit of Fort Knox?
Yep.
Yeah, me neither.
Yep. Show me the gold. because I question at this point whether or not the gold is actually there. And that may be what, I mean, there's a lot of things people say, well, what if Trump, you know, what are they doing? How did they get to him? What did they say? What are they holding over his head? Well, they may have actually shown him inside of Fort Knox. And that thing may have been, you know, he may have heard his echo when he spoke inside of that room. There's a lot of things if you can imagine, I'm going to throw a conspiracy theory out there, hypothetical. Trump's a billionaire. And imagine if you told a billionaire that the money that you have in the bank isn't worth the paper it's written on, and mess with us, and we will make that very known, and your country will fall the moment we say your dollar is worthless. It doesn't hold any value. I mean, there are a lot of things that could be. I'm not saying that that's true. I'm not even making that insinuation. I'm just giving you a possibility. But all we can really know, those of us who are actually awake and paying attention, know that the guy who's in office making the decisions that he's making right now, saying the things that he's saying right now, does not sound or act like the guy that we all fought for to be put in office. Well, yep. Karen Bass just got found out to be doing some kind of a conspiratorial things with her funding for a campaign out here. And they're passing laws here called the Stop Nick Shirley Act to prevent him from actually investigating fraud. If you investigate fraud in California, where I'm at right now, if I were to go out with a camera and go find a fake hospice, and in the process, I try to ask an immigrant a question, and I put them on camera, that's a $10,000 fine. That's a $10,000 fine. So now we're passing laws to get in the way of the First Amendment and to protect criminals. And they actually pass. This is the problem. So when we have these things going on, $76 billion of fraud in this state, 12 plus billion in another state, God knows how many other states are running, these types of scams. And yet our biggest worry is a country that has never bombed us, doesn't have the ability to bomb us. And we're throwing our men, women, our economy down the toilet to stay in a war that they've tried to stop like 6 times now. I question whether or not our priorities are straight.
No, they're gay.
It's a little bit true.
It is.
It's a little bit true.
Did you see that the Jews are throwing a big pride parade in where are they throwing it at? I don't know, somewhere in Israel. They're throwing like a giant pride parade, and I'm like, isn't that just golden?
Well, they actually market themselves that way. Like, we are one of the most liberal, free places on earth where, we accept everybody and all these things. And here it is, right here is in fact, here, I'll show it to you. I have it. I have proof of the gay. Here it is.
An all-out pride party with some 30,000 revelers in attendance. It was an unprecedented turnout at the annual event, which is usually more low-key than the one in Tel Aviv. During Thursday's march, the first pride parade under Israel's new far-right government, demonstrators were keen to send a message. The streets of Jerusalem...
That's enough of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross, man.
Yeah. But here's the thing, guys. Maurice and I, neither of us are even in the least little teeny bit anti-Semitic. And here's something else that I found out. Go look up the term Semite. Go look up the term Semite. And what you'll find out, that the Semites are actually the Middle Eastern people that speak in that dialect. So when we're actually talking about Semites, the Ashkenazi Jews do not actually qualify as Semites. The people they're destroying next door, who I'm not a fan of either. I don't have a dog in the fight. I think they're both evil in their own ways, are actually more Semitic than the people that are bombing them. But we've turned so woke right that if we start pointing out the obvious, they criticize us for having an opinion. And they say, what about the Holocaust? What about the Holocaust? Because I got something else.
How much is the Holocaust?
Well, here's what I found, and this is really, really cool. Now, this is an actual Holocaust survivor who is recalling her own. She was there, so I don't want to hear anybody tell me what you heard in history class. She was there.
This 1998 interview with a Holocaust survivor confirms gas chambers were sanitation rooms.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Watch
that.
this.
The list is waiting for the gas to come
Yeah,
in.
and all of
There
were showers,
and
bro.
salt and water came raining down on us, and this great big, we call it banya, which is a Russian word for
You can't show that, Eddie. That's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, an actual Holocaust survivor's testimony saying that, and I've had this debate with people prior where they try to give us a number of 6 million when the number is actually closer to 2 or 3 that we can actually, it gets somewhere in the realm of reality. And I said there is no remnants of anywhere an actual gas chamber. And they said, well, what about the museum? That is they remade that. That is something they created to show you what one would look like. That's not the actual gas chamber, nor have they ever found one.
It was communist propaganda, bro.
It's nuts.
Okay, did you also see the Israeli soldier? So, okay, JP Sears, he made a perfect joke. I think this is a perfect joke. It's like 2 layers deep. So I'm hoping that everybody here gets it. But check this out. See what he says?
No, I can't see it.
So this is an Israeli soldier smashing a statue of Christ. And so JP Sears says, why is everyone freaking out about this Israeli soldier destroying a statue of a doctor? And if you guys recall, Trump posted
thing,
he posted himself, or he posted a meme of himself being portrayed as Jesus Christ. And then the next day he was like, I just thought I was a doctor healing people. It's like, okay. So... But
I'm really starting to become a really huge fan of JP Spears because he just did this whole video that he released apologizing for being insensitive and anti-Semitic, and it was great. It was great. The way he did it was, the way he just comes off is amazing. And he did that video with Alex Jones. Did you see the one where they're doing the Alex Jones low IQ? Making fun of what Trump said about Alex with JP Spears in the video. They actually did the video together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really, really telling. And the fact that, anybody that has, this is the bad part. And I'm going to say it. MTG, who, I was a huge fan of. I'm not starstruck by many people. And I used to love this lady. And when I met her in Atlanta, I was cool to just be able to spend a little time and talk to her because I just thought she just was fearless. She just said what was on her mind. But what I found out the other day really, really let me down because it turns out she was getting some death threats. And then, I understand that comes with the territory of politicians, especially ones that speak out like her. But then when they started threatening her kids, she got a hold of the Trump administration. She texted JD Vance. She texted Trump. Well, she literally said this, and I'll let you hear it because she said that Trump responded to her in a very, very insensitive way. Now we're talking about her children. They're not political fodder. They're kids. And this is what she said.
Message after I had resigned and he had been attacking me and I was receiving I can't even count how many death threats. And but the death threats escalated on one of my children, and I had sent those death threats to the FBI director, Cash Patel. I sent them to the Vice President, JD Vance, Susie Wiles, James Blair, and I even texted the president. And I was so upset over death threats for my children because of him. And the quotes and the death threat were from what the president had been calling me a traitor. And I'm not a traitor in my country. Standing up for rape victims doesn't make me a traitor. And I reached out to the president and to let him know this is what's happening because what you're saying about me. And he was very unkind about these death threats. And so that was our last exchange.
What did he say to you?
He basically blamed me. He had no compassion for death threats on my children. He blamed me basically that if my son were to get killed, it would be my fault.
Holy shit. And that's, I mean, listen, if you have a problem with her politically, that's just one thing. But dude, I mean, I just expect more. I expect something so much more. I expect some things to transcend politics.
Man. Something changed.
I expect some things to absolutely transcend politics. And I thought this would be one of them. I thought the children would be one of them. And evidently, it's not. And that's sad. That's sad to know that the guy that we expect to lead the free world has so gotten to a point where he can be so petty that someone's children are not important if it's somebody who you disagree with. And what does he disagree with her about? Keeping a campaign promise about letting the Epstein files out.
If children were a priority, then the Epstein files would have been let out. If children were a priority, then we would have banned abortion 60 years, or we would have never legalized abortion, because over the last 60 years, there's been 3,000 abortions a day, over 65 million abortions, over 65 million Americans are missing. They were snuffed out before they could ever articulate their own humanity. If we cared about the children, we wouldn't be $39 trillion in debt, because all of our wealth today, we're just robbing from our children and their children and their children. So we don't, like, our entire society doesn't care about children right now. And it's really frustrating, because in all reality, there's so many better things that we could do if we prioritize children. But I mean, you can see, I mean, half the laws in all the liberal states are to protect the predators, from receiving harsh penalties for molesting kids and or owning, explicit child content. It's gross, and it seems like so that actually doesn't surprise me very much, just because from what I've seen, at least in Trump's second term here, in him not really wanting to release the Epstein files at all, and saying it's a hoax, and then
that was sad
promising
to see.
to release it, and then like blaming MAGA for being mad about it. Like, what the fuck, dude? I thought you were gonna, like, I thought this is like a big part of the deep state, and you're kind of not really working with us here. And he's like, "Oh, are we still talking about that guy? Fuck that."
Well, I sent you this? Did you see this? Hold up.
Sure
Hold up. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not the one. This is hilarious, dude. And I don't know. I come up with them every now and again. And this one was just one I was like, I thought it would go a lot harder than it did, and it didn't. And the ones that you don't think will do, but this was freaking hilarious. I don't care. Bomb Jovi living on a prayer mat. It's just hilarious. I don't care who you are, Lord. I apologize. But no, there was something I was looking for. There was a guy, and I put this post out a while back, where this Democrat elected official, I don't know her name, she was defending the use of underage style sex dolls to help with the treatment of people she called minor attracted persons.
No, just hang them.
And here's the funny thing is that somebody got in the comments on the post and said, way to twist her words. And I was like, okay, everyone should know who you are. Everyone, you defending these comments, everybody should know your screen name. I want to let you guys know who this guy is. And I'm trying to go down and find his damn screen name, because you should all know who this guy is. And I can't find it, damn it.
Infamous for
defending pedophiles. I mean, dude, if you go into somebody's comments and defend that sort of behavior, like, you should be shouted out. Like, everyone should know your name. And I cannot freaking find it. I'll find it. I'll eventually find it. But Facebook is going. I had no kind of real care or whatever for Facebook whatsoever. But right now, I can't do anything wrong on Facebook. It's crazy. 100,000 views, 50,000 views. I mean, just consistently on Facebook when it's never been that kind to me before.
I didn't even have a Facebook.
You do. Here it is.
Wait, what?
You do.
I do?
Yeah, you got the Patriots prayer over there.
Oh, no. I'm like,
Personal?
I don't, though.
Yeah, not your personal one.
Hey,
So,
I do want to give a shout out to Phil Anselmo. I don't know how to say his name.
Phil Anselmo from Pantera?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I love that guy.
All right. You're going to love him a lot more here in a second. Check this out.
Walked around with a fucking t-shirt on that said white pride, you would
Awesome.
be racist. You would be a piece of shit, motherfucking racist, and you couldn't deal with it.
All right, Kilburn.
From here on this point on, all you white kids out there, let me tell you something that no other motherfucking man, white man in the world has any guts to say. Let me say it right now. When you wake up in the motherfucking morning and you look at yourself in the goddamn mirror, look, hey, have all the fucking pride in your heart, man. Have all the fucking pride in the world, man. That's what I want to say. Because we are the great people. Open your eyes. It's fucking reverse discrimination is what it is.
Now, the only part that I disagree with him is it's not reverse discrimination, you guys.
It's just discrimination.
It is just discrimination. That's it.
Agreed.
It's not. There's nothing reverse about it. It's just discrimination towards whites. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, when you say reverse discrimination, you really paint the picture that discrimination is only just discrimination when it goes one way and that someone has a lock on it.
It's like it's so when you say reverse discrimination or reverse racism, you are submitting to the communist language games and saying that it is inherently a white person problem to be racist or discriminatory, and that's just not true. It's anybody can be racist, anybody can be
Can you see what that is? I can't make out what that is.
R plus USA. It's probably a like an emoji thing on Rumble.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but through StreamYard it comes out odd. So
we love Rumble. Rumble is one of the first platforms that I set everything up on, and we've been there for quite a while. We have over 7,000 followers, which is on Rumble is a very good amount of followers to have. The only one problem that I have with Rumble is that in all the followers that we have, that our followers are not alerted when we go live. So we don't get as large of a crowd as we used to. And I don't know when that change took place or when it occurred. But we used to have a pretty good Rumble chat. And hopefully, we'll get over it. We're going to start doing exclusive Rumble podcasts one day a week, where it'll be specifically and exclusively for Rumble now that we're in their creators program over there. So yeah, I will be giving Rumble a little special attention as well as Povey. But yeah, we love Rumble. What Chris Pavlowski's done with the platform by becoming everything YouTube used to be and allowing us to be able to say the things that we say, because sometimes it does get a little colorful, but it's all true. Right. And that Phil Anselmo video you just played, I seen that years ago. And this was back when Pantera's heyday was around. Pantera had the first #1 heavy metal album in history. And then they did it 2 times in a row. I miss Pantera. Rest in peace, Vinnie Paul. Rest in peace. These guys were absolutely amazing. And Phil Anselmo was a beast. He was the sound of my angry youth. He was, dude. I don't know how many Pantera fans are out there, but songs like "Fucking Hostile" and "5 Minutes Alone," and that, I mean, just absolutely Cemetery Gates, Hollow. I loved Pantera. I still do. When I was younger,
that's back when punk was actually punk, man. That's back when like punk was like, they weren't these woke retards that we have now. Like the new punk movement is fucking retarded.
I didn't know there was a new punk movement. Is there a new punk movement?
No, it's the Antifa types that fill up that space now. They're all gay communists, and it is. And I'm not kidding. They're all gay communists. That's what it filled in the punk scene. It's terrible.
All I remember about the punk scene when I was younger was that they all smelled like patchouli, but they didn't shower.
What, I don't know what patchouli is.
Patchouli is like this petroleum based shit you put on, and it stinks, dude. It stinks. I'm sorry, it stinks.
None of them are communists. No, they're all like communist little soldiers. At least the ones up here in the Tacoma, Seattle area are. So I don't know what punks that what scene you're referencing, but I watched the punk scene because I have friends that have been in that scene, like are in literal punk bands, and they've noticed a big shift in the movement in the past 10 years, because they've been in it for at least 20 years now, towards this woke communist bullshit, and there's a lot of them, so
Iran's parliamentary leader, Mohammed Bagar Ghalibaf, the white wizard from Lord of the Rings.
Brown wizard.
The brown wizard, sent a direct warning to President Donald Trump Monday on X, saying that Iran will not accept negotiations with the U.S. under threat. Trump, by imposing a blockade and violating the ceasefire, seeks, in his view, to turn the negotiation table into a table of surrender or to justify renewed warmongering, he said. So these people don't appear to give a damn about any further threat that the United States is going to give. And to be honest with you, I mean, this is, if we could beat Islam with the threat of violence, it wouldn't exist anymore. And I mean, we're not going to stamp out an idea. So this is why I'm saying I don't see a way in which that we can only leave the Middle East and Iran in a better situation than we found it. We're never going to leave it in a situation in which we're absolutely comfortable with the people running that region. So, if you're saying that's what you're waiting for or what you're fighting for, then we're not leaving. We're just going to be there because they're not going to stop doing what they're doing or believing what they believe. It's just not going to happen. So if that's your goal, guys, get ready for a bumpy ride because we're not leaving. But I think this is Israel's fight, and I think Israel wants to treat Iran the way they did Gaza, and they won't accept anything less. They won't accept anything less than a complete annihilation of the people who they deem as a threat. And this is exactly why the other day when Joe Kent had that interview with Sean Ryan, I think, guys, if you haven't watched that interview, you need to go watch that interview because Joe Kent absolutely redeemed himself. And I had to go get my Tucker Carlson membership again because I canceled it in the offset thinking that the things that they were telling us were actually true. And I disagree with him on Islam. Wholeheartedly, I disagree with him as far as viewing Islam as just an alternative religion and that we're
and that they respect Jesus.
Yeah, no.
No, they worship pedophile. Islam is terrible. It's incompatible with Christianity. And
but so is Judaism.
United States. Yes, I agree. Both of them suck.
So is Judaism. And listening to some of the tenets of the Talmud last night, that they actually believe that they can have, God, I can't even say it out loud, but what they can do with children under a certain age, or goyim in general, which is those of us who are not in their flock.
I've been referred to as the last Goyikin.
I love it, dude. I absolutely love it. I might be changing my my other Twitter handle to that. The last of the Goyhekans. I love it, dude.
Yeah,
that is awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's terrible the things that they allow in the Talmud, and
yeah, it's gross. And
the fact that we don't talk about it enough and don't understand that the people that we're standing up against, the people that we're fighting, believe that those of us who are Christian and believe what we believe, they literally have said to believe such a thing warrants a death sentence. They said it. I didn't say it. They said it. And then what they do is they throw up a force field in front of them that says, if I say that, I'm attacking them. Remember the Holocaust? You know, it's like this automatic force field against anything that you would say true about them.
Didn't you say,
and I don't even want to say
Holodomor?
them, because I'm not indicting an entire race of people. I'm indicting those who actually say those things. The ones who actually preach that stuff.
See, this was the problem we had initially with the woke left, right? And fighting racism. It's like, okay, but, 13% of the population commits half the murders, and they're like, that's racist. And you're like, no, it's not. It's really not. It's like we're addressing an issue that needs to be addressed. And now we've kind of moved over, and since we're not on like Trump's side on this part anymore, like all the Trump seals just come out and they're like, you must be, you're anti-Trump, anti-American, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I just think that he's listening to people that, like, it's the same thing in his first term when he was surrounding himself with fucking Mike Pence and Anthony Fauci and was like deferring to them. It's like, no, don't do that. Those are horrible people. They're all evil, bad people. Stop listening to them. And then on the campaign trail, it seemed like he was far more interested in listening to the people on the campaign trail. But now that he's in power again, he's just like, it's only the advisors, and he doesn't give two shits about what MAGA says. He just doesn't care anymore. And it's like, oh, okay, I see how it is. It's like, it's he'll listen to us when he's on the campaign trail, and they'll be all about what we want. And then as soon as he gets in power, he's like, well, I'll just surround myself with all the swampsters and fucking go with them. No, bad,
and it's
bad
everybody.
Trump.
It's the supporters in general. J.R. Majewski, who he actually endorsed in his election bid, put out a video the other day pleading with Trump, essentially saying, those of us who love you, care about you, and support you, and see you as a friend, you need to listen to us. You need to hear us and not just attack us when we disagree with you, because Alex Jones was there supporting him. The same thing with Tucker Carlson. They're supporting you. They're just disagreeing with you on these things that you're doing. And essentially what you're saying is you either agree with me 100% of the time or else. And everyone should have a problem with that.
The only loyalty I have like that is to Christ, and that's it.
Jesus is my president. That's what it really boils down to.
A T-shirt right there.
Yes. We will be opening up the shop again. As I told you the other day, I was looking into this. And for some of the more colorful live broadcasts that we do, Maurice and I will be moving the Patriots Prayer Network, and for some episodes and some of the things that we're going to do will be behind paywall. Guys, we want to do more things. We actually want to host a real America First event. And in order to do that, we need the support of people that understand that it's not about the left, it's not about the right, it is about what is right, true America First values. It's not this team bullshit that they got you locked into thinking you're either left, right, white, black, red, blue. No. The truth is in the middle somewhere bleeding, and they don't want those people there. This is a whole reason why Dan Bongino left the position that he was in. You think he's not working for the government? Still, no, he's very much still working for the government. He just had to come to the podcast realm to call out those of us who actually have the ability to critically think, because that's just his new role. It's not that he's not working for them. It's just this is his new role.
you guys think Jesus is bigger than whatever or whoever created everything on earth, universe, etc.? So confused.
He
why
is
his
the guy
praise
who
is
created
God,
everything.
or even half as important. Yeah, he is. They're
You can't
one and the
separate
same.
Jesus from God.
Like you know how people always ask, like, okay, well, if there is this almighty creator, why is there suffering on earth? And it's like, well, God isn't going to put you through anything that he didn't go through. That's why Jesus came down and he went through the worst kind of suffering. He went through torture. He went through a crucifixion. He went through all of this stuff, and to basically understand our plight and not only that, but show you that that he actually knows what's going on. And it's not like because there's evil in the world, therefore there is no God. It's I don't know if I explained that exactly well.
But but here's the thing: Jesus and God are not two different entities.
No.
They're exactly the same. So when you say, is Jesus as big as the guy who created the universe? Jesus is the guy who created the universe. In fact, if you read John 1, he says, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and everything that was created through him. He's talking about Christ. That he is God. There is no separation of the two.
Yeah, so that's why. All right,
so
it's time to close out.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for tuning in. If you can, please share this podcast. I appreciate it.
Love the chat, by the way, guys. It's been awesome. If you haven't already, if you're not following on whatever platform you're watching, click the follow button. I think when I looked at it, it's like less than 20% of the people click that follow button. If you guys were able to do that, we would get out of this rut that we're in, specifically on YouTube. Next week, I am lining up JT to be on the podcast. JT is the guy who really has brought the Satan's Little Season thing to light, and he's an amazing wealth of knowledge, and he's agreed to come on the podcast, and we can't wait to have him. So definitely look forward to that. We got a couple of other hosts. Monday we have Sheriff Mack on as well. And that should be a very interesting conversation as well. He was at CPAC. We were with him, and we got some questions, and hopefully he's willing to answer them. So
it'll be fun.
It will be fun, guys. Thank you so much. And as usual, the silent majority, you need to stop being silent. And remember, evil never retreats willingly. You must beat it back, guys. Think for yourselves. As always, don't let anyone else think for you. Have a great one. We'll see you soon. Stay safe. Oh, set the outro video. How about that? I'm on the wrong damn, what you call them here, the media platform. Let me switch it back. And then I can play the outro. There it is. Guys, have a great one. We'll see you soon. Oh, by the way, I will be going live on Rumble shortly after this. If you guys want to jump over to rumble.com/the Patriots prayer. We're just going to be bullshitting over there. So just join us, have a conversation. We'll talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, be going through the headlines and more. So see you there soon. Have a great one, guys.
Midnight gears hum low. Guitars bend, pads breathing the slow. Breath held tight, the storm starts to grow. We sharpen the truth, ready to explode. Can't call out rhinos if you're a rhino. Speak with them like the beat's not about the tone. Oh, cash dress saints blink while the crowd loses.